Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us coming here to learn the language of the noble Quran. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us sadqa jariyah for our parents and make our children sadqa jariyah for us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us coming here to learn the language of the noble Quran and give us tawfiq to learn the language of the noble Quran and then teach others. Ameen Ya Rab. I respect you, my respected sisters, to this lesson number 5. I hope everybody is doing well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you all in knowledge. Ameen Ya Rab. So, before we start the class, inshallah, please let me know if the audio is okay and you are able to hear me loud and clear. And as you know, the host where you are going to send your responses is Your Answers, Please Write Here. The name of the host is Your Answers, Please Write Here. So I'll wait for your responses, sisters, before we start the class, inshallah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, we'll start the class now. So lesson number 5, chapter number 10. Okay. Ad-Darsul Ashir, the 10th lesson. Bismillah. ذهب زكريا لزيارة حامد بعد صلاة الفجر ولكنه ما وجده في البيت فقال لابنه موسى أين أبوك؟ Zakaria went to visit Hamid, or for the visit of Hamid. This li could meaning to or for. It could use in both terms if you are translating that. Zakaria went to visit Hamid after the Fajr prayer. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. This is how we should be. We all are sleeping at the Fajr prayer. And look, people, the true Muslims, they not only pray Salat al-Fajr in the Masjid bil Jama'ah, they also start, get on with their day. So he went after Fajr prayer to see Zakaria, but he did not find him in the house. He did not find him in the house. So he said to his son Musa, where is your father? Where is your father? Aina abuka? Aina abuka? Aina is a question for asking where. We've studied that before. This kaf abuka, obviously it is mudaf, mudafile. Abu is mudaf and ka is mudafile, meaning your father, your dad. Who can tell me what is the grammatical name for this kaf? We have studied in last lesson. We have seen that, and before as well we have discussed that. Because now we are reaching, alhamdulillah, up to this level only with the tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where we are able to understand the terms, and we should be able to study and discuss things by using the terms, because if you use the term, then you can understand the rules which are coming with that. So for example, I'll give you the answer for that, and then I'll tell you what I'm saying. This kaf is kaful khitab. Kaful khitab is called kaful khitab when you are speaking to somebody. Abuka, right? Ka or ki if you're speaking to a sister, or a lot of people kum, or a lot of sisters kunna, right? So this kaf is called kaful khitab or kaful mukhatab. But you can say kaful khitab, and that will cover mukhatib and mukhatab both. What is mukhatib and mukhatab? They both sound similar, isn't it? Yes. But the ta has got a kasara, mukhatib, and the other ta has got a fatha, mukhatab. We usually in our day-to-day course of life, we ignore these things. We don't really pay attention, but it does make a difference. In Arabic, it's very subtle language. Mukhatib is ismul fa'il. Mukhatab is ismul maf'ul. The detail will come inshallah in future lessons. I don't really want to go into that. Just understand that little bit change in the vowel signs can actually change the meaning. Anyway, coming back to this thing here. Abuka, Abu is mudaf and kaf is mudaf ilayh. This kaf is damirun muttasilun because it is connected with this. It is written with the word Abu. It's not written separate like we write. Damair munfasila. What are damair munfasila, sisters? Can anybody give me a heads up? I'm not going to say the English name yet. What is ad-damair al-munfasila? This is from ad-damair al-muttasila. So this is ad-damir al-muttasil. What is damirul munfasila? Very good, mashallah, tabarakallah. Those are detached pronouns. Which one are those? Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, and it goes on. So this kaf is called kaful khitab, and it is a muttasil pronoun. It is a attached pronoun. Once again, now lately I've started using Arabic terms. If you are not really yet up to the point where you can grab them, don't worry about it. Don't worry if you think, oh, this term I don't know. We will keep repeating, inshallah, for a very long time, and you will have everything, inshallah, really good. You will have a good, solid understanding of that. Don't worry about it, inshallah. So Musa said, ذهب إلى السوق. Musa said he went to the market. What kind of sentence is that, sisters? Who can tell me? ذهب إلى السوق. ذهب is the fi'l. Fi'l madi. Here is the both written here. ذهب يذهب. Sisters, understand? Now, alhamdulillah, you have reached a intermediary level. When you open the books of grammar or open any other book which is giving you some kind of explanation, they will explain most of the time verbs by mentioning both. So you should know that the first is madi, past tense, and the second is mudare, which you can say in English near to present tense. Dhahaba yadhhabu. So dhahaba is fi'l madi. So the sentence beginning with verb is a verb sentence. Dhahaba is the fi'l. Who's the doer? Huwa. Doer is hidden. You can't see. Our eyes cannot see, but our mind can see. Dhahaba means he went. As we can see the transition, he went to the market. Dhahaba ila suqi. So Zakaria said, ayadhhabu ila suqi kulla yawmin. You see, now we have fail mudari coming here. We have present tense coming here. So far, we've been looking in our book, all the past tense verbs were coming. Qara, hafidha, raja, ada, dhahaba, kharaja, shariba, akala. Now, alhamdulillah, we have started to see fail mudari coming. So see, we are making steady progress, alhamdulillah. Ayadhabu ila suqi kulla yawmin. Hamza, this Hamza is which Hamza? Hamzatul Istifham, to ask a question, right? When you see the transition, you can understand that. Another sign is you see the question mark, and you can understand that, right? Ayadhhabu ila suqi kulla yawmin, and alhamdulillah, all of you understand the transition now, I hope. So when you see this kind of sentence, you immediately understand this is Hamzatul Istifham. But if you have any doubt, the question mark in the end will tell you. And if you were able to translate it, then of course you would have understood that it's a question mark. أيذهب إلى السوق كل يوم. So we know Hamza is Hamza al-Istifham. يذهب is فعل المضارع. How do I know it's فعل المضارع? I do know فعل المضارع because فعل المضارع has got 4 special letters: Anit, Hamza, Noon, Ya, and Ta. These are prefix. These are attached before the verb. So any of that you find written with the verb which you already know. I will not say any word, because any word could be anything, you know. It could be a noun, and then starting with the ya, it doesn't mean it's mudare. Mudare means it's a present tense, but must be a tense first. So how do you know it's a present tense? Because you know other 3 letters. You know zahaba. Sisters, I know you understand all of that. But when I'm trying to sometimes give you really baby steps, this is just for our own revision, for my own revision, your own revision. And maybe we have some weak students like myself who requires a lots and lots of repetition, who requires repetition in every class in order for that to actually sink in. So hence I go as if we have never studied before. So I hope you are able to understand that. So by looking at dhahaba, you know it's a verb, it's a past tense. You've studied that many times. Now you see ya attached, then you can immediately say, oh, this ya belongs to those 4 letters, haruful mudari, which we have discussed many times. You've seen that on your Telegram channel with many images, and many discussions have been happening there. So I hope you are full aware of that. So this ya is pointing towards the fact that this is a fi'lul mudari present tense. أَيَذْهَبُ إِلَى السُّوقِ كُلَّ يَوْمٍ. Does he go to the market every day? Now I have a question. Why yawmin is majroor here? I'll tell you, yawmin is majroor here because it is mudaf ilayh. In Arabic language, you will find 2 basic things which will be having majroor. Either there will be harf jar before that, or there will be a mudaf before that, right? So the things will be mudaf. Sometimes things will come here and there with kind of a different names, like tawabe. What is tawabe? We'll discuss that in future. But those are basically following the things which are coming before that, and hence they are taking up the same same era. Here, kulla is making yawmin mudaf ilayh. What kind of word is kulla? Kulla is a zarfu zaman, adverb of time, adverb of time. Like we've studied in earlier lessons, adverb of place. Amam al-masjid, تحت المكتب. Why al-maktabi was majroor? Why al-masjidi was majroor? We said that from level 1 that is mudaf ilayh, because if there is a ismul zaman or ismul makan, in other words, adverb of time or adverb of place is there before the word, then that word will become mudaf ilayh majroor. So kulla is your adverb and yawmin is mudaf ilayh majroor. More details will come in future, inshallah. So don't worry about it. Don't start thinking too advanced things. As we've discussed before, sometimes it's from shaitan. They're just trying to take away our concentration and take away our mind from the classroom. They just keep whispering different thoughts and different ideas in our mind. So please, sisters, pay attention to what we are doing right now, and further details will come, inshallah, in future. I appreciate your keenness and your questions, but understand this is not the time for asking those questions. I know those sisters who ask these questions. I am addressing them and they understand now. So Musa said, "Na'am, yadhhabu," because when Zakaria asked, does he go to the market every day? So Musa is saying, "Na'am, yadhhabu da'iman ila suqi ba'da salatil fajr." Yes, he always goes to the market after the Fajr prayer. Once again, ba'da salatil fajr. Salati is what? Mudaf ilayh, coming after ba'da. What kind of word is ba'da? Ba'da is also giving some kind of time, isn't it? Some kind of time, ba'da, after, qabla, before, right? So this is adverb of time here. So Zakaria is saying, Mata yarji'u min as-suqi. When does he return from the market? When does he return from the market? What kind of verb is that? Raja'a yarji'u. We've seen that in the past lessons. Raja'a yarji'u. Here it is written, Raja'a yarji'u, irji', to return, come back. In which surah we see irji'? Who can tell me? And that is coming with the ya irji'i. There's a reason why irji'i. We will soon, inshallah, see in future lessons why irji'i. Irji'i ila rabbik. Surah Al-Fajr, mashallah, tabarakallah. Well done, sisters. Well done. You see, learning Arabic language gives you an understanding of the Quran. Alhamdulillah, straight away you are able to see, oh, this word I have recited the Quran, or when you recited the Quran, your daily portion, and you come up with the word which you studied in the class, you immediately are able to point out and understand the meaning. And because the thing is, if you understand the meaning of one word, then of course you are able to get some idea. Of course you cannot understand the whole thing, but you start getting some idea. And imagine if you understand 2 words, you get more idea. 3 words, your understanding gets better and better and better. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praises due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mata yarji'u min as-suqi. When does he return from the market? Raja'a yarji'u is the verb. What is the similar verb which has got a similar meaning? We've studied in last 2 lessons. Who can remind me, sisters? Let's see if we are revising our lessons or not. Ada ya'udu. Ada ya'udu. Ada. We have studied only the past tense. Ada and raja'a, they both have the similar meaning of return. He returned. Raja'a, he returned. Ada, he returned. So Zakaria said, Mata yarji'u min as-suqi. When does he return from the market? So Musa, his son, is saying, Yarji'u fi as-sa'ati as-sabi'ati. He returns at 7 o'clock. Wa ahyanan fi as-sa'ati as-thaminati. And sometimes at 8 o'clock. So Zakaria is saying, Mada yaf'alu fil bayti. What does he do at home or in the house? Right? You can use in the home or in the house. Al-bayt could be used in both sense. So what kind of verb is yaf'alu? Fa'ala yaf'alu. Fa'ala yaf'alu. Fa'ala means to do. Yaf'alu means continuous tense of doing. Mada yaf'alu fil bayti. What does he do at home or in the house? So Musa is saying, يقرأ الصحف ويسمع الأخبار من الإذاعة. He reads the newspapers. Or the other translation, I think this, okay. He reads the newspapers and he listens to the news from the radio station. Al-Idha'ati is from the radio station. So Zakaria is saying, and Yasma'u is from Sami'a Yasma'u. Sami'a is the past tense and Yasma'u is the present tense. Qara is the past tense. We've studied so many times. And yaqra'u is the present tense. Qara'a, he read, or he read basically. Yaqra'u, he's reading or he will read. Sami'a, he heard. Yasma'u, he is hearing or he is listening. So Zakaria is saying, Mata yadhhabu ilal masna'i. When does he go to the factory? When does he go to the factory? So Musa is saying, يذهب في الساعة التاسعة والنصف. He goes at 9:30 or 9:30. He goes at 9:30. So we have seen ذهب. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on the author of the book, Sheikh Abdul Rahim. Look how beautifully he is bringing all those verbs which you studied in the past, and we, alhamdulillah, are full well acquainted with the past tense, and now he's coming with the present tense. Yadhabu. So yadhabu is the present tense for what? Yadhabu is the present tense for dhahaba. Where is the doer in dhahaba? He went. Where is the doer in yadhabu? He goes. So doer in both cases is mustatir. How it is mustatir in present tense, we will see that inshallah. But yadhabu fi sa'ati tasi'ati wan nisfi means he goes at 9:30. وَمَتَى يَرْجِعُ مِنْ هُنَاكَ. And when does he return from there? Hunaka means there, and huna means here. You studied that in level 1. Huna means here or over here, and hunaka is there or over there. One small tangent here. If you know the word dhalika, ismul ishara, for that, you know, once we said that kaf. So basically, Zal and Alif is one word, Lam is for Lamul Bu'd, and Kaf is the third word, right? So Zalika consists of 3 words. So this Kaf is the same, Hunaka, over there. So this is pointing towards something which is a little bit far. If it was near, you'll say Huna, but Hunaka means over there. So Musa is saying, so when Zakaria has asked, basically, when does he return from there? So Musa is saying, يرجع في الساعة الواحدة والنصف. He returns at 1:30 أو الثانية or 2 o'clock. But here the thing is, أو, the word أو, Hamza and then Waw, Waw has got a sukoon. Waw has got a sukoon, and الثانية, Lam has got a sukoon because it's Hamzatul Wasl. And then Lam is coming, Lam al-Ta'rif, al-Thaniyat. How are we going to pronounce that? We have seen this thing, that if in this kind of case where Hamzatul Wasl and Lam is in the next word, and the word which you are reading at the last letter of the word as the sukoon, you will give it a kasra, avith thaniyati, right? So this waw is getting kasra just so that you can join this waw with the tha. Originally, this word au, which is wow at the end, has got sukoon. And what type of word is this au? This au is harf atf. We've been talking about harf atf lately quite many times. Different words are coming and we are saying that is harf atf, that is harf atf. There are many harf atf and they all have different meanings. So when we say wa, jaa, let's use dhahaba. Dhahaba hamidun wa zaidun. So we say left Hamid and Zaid. So, and this waw is giving the meaning of and it's harf atf. Here, this aw is giving the meaning of or. So it's giving the meaning of a choice, right? Likewise, thumma gives you also the meaning of after, but with little bit of a time before that. So for example, if I say, there's azan going on and I say, okay, I will do the wudu and then I'll go to masjid. So how will I say? Then I'll say, thumma adhabu ila al-masjid. So thumma is also giving the meaning of and. As I said in English, first I will do wudu and then I will go to masjid. But it's also giving the little bit of delay in the action. But these things, inshallah, we will deal with that in future. One of the benefit, inshallah, from this small discussions is when these things will come in front of you, you will have some sort of background information about that. Coming back to the lesson now, aw is ending on sukoon, but waw is getting kathara. It is just so that you can continue speaking avith thaniyatin. Aw, what type of word is aw? Aw is harf atf, and this waw is also harf atf. So Zakaria is saying, أيذهب إلى المصنع مرة أخرى بعد الظهر? Does he go to the factory once again after the Zohar prayer? So this ukhra is a new word. Ukhra is a new word. Ukhra means once again, one more time, right? Once again or one more time. So أيذهب إلى المصنع مرة أخرى بعد الظهر? Yeah. Does he go to the factory once again after the Zohar prayer, right? So if you're asking somebody and you don't really catch what they're saying, you say maratan ukhra. Maratan ukhra means one more time, please. So the person will repeat, right? In the class, your teacher said something you could understand very well. So say maratan ukhra. Maratan ukhra means once again, one more time. It depends on how you are translating. Here it is saying one again. You can say again or one more time, depending on how you are actually using. So Musa is answering to that question and saying la. لا يذهب بعد الظهر. La is no, and then again la is no is used with the mudari. No, no, he does not go. Why la is coming twice? Who can tell me? Look at the translation, you could see, he could have said La يذهب بعد الظهر. No, he does not go. Look, even in English, there is no translation given. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on the brothers and sisters who have done this translation work. I just took it off from the internet. It's beautifully done. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it heavy on the scales on the day of judgment. You see, when you speak in English, you don't sometimes just go exactly the way it is in Arabic. You speak it with the structure of English language in your mind. So how do you do word to word translation? La is no. La yadhabu ba'da dhuhri. No, he does not go after the Dhuhr prayer. So my question was why la is coming twice, and your answer is correct. This la is coming because of this Hamzatul Istifham. When Hamzatul Istifham is being asked, then your answer should have a negation or affirmation. Ahadha kitabun. You can't say hada qalamun. If that's not a book and that's a pen, you must say La hada qalam. If that's a book, you'll say Na'am hada kitab. You'll not say straight away hada kitab. And I hope we all know that full well. So he said La yadhhabu ba'da dhuhri. No, he does not go after the Zohar. Here means Zohar, Salat al-Dhuhri, Zohar prayer. What is this ba'da doing, your sisters? This ba'da, as we've seen before, is adverb of time, Zarfu Zaman, and the word which is coming after that, we'll call it is Mudaf ilay Majroor. And then he's saying, Yajlisu huna fi maktabihi ba'da salat al-asri. He sits here in his office after the Asr prayer. Yajlisu. We have studied the word jalasa. Jalasa means he sat. What's the mudare? Present tense. Jalasa yajlisu. Yajlisu means he sits. Huna means here. You should know here is coming because the boy is saying here where he's standing. Near is his office. And when it was about something far away, maybe his office or factory is far, so he said hunaka. But for near, for around, he said huna. Huna fi maktabihi, his office, in his office, ba'da salat al-asri, after the asr prayer. Zakaria is saying, Kam amilan ya'malu fi masna'ikum. How many workers work in your factory? Amilan, what kind of word is amilan, sisters? Who can tell me? Last time we had a long discussion on that. Very good. This is tamiz, and tamiz is mansoob. Why it is not majroor? Is it possible for tamiz to be majroor? Or is always mansoob? It is possible for it to be majroor. We have seen that last time. Fi, kam, yawmin. If the harf jar is coming before kam, then tamiz can be majroor. But then in that case, permissibility is there. You can have tamiz majroor or you can have tamiz mansoob. Both are possible. So how many workers work in your factory? So Musa is saying, Masna'una laysa bi kabirin. Masna'una laysa bi kabirin. Our factory is not big. Our factory is not big. Laysa means not. We know that, right? What kind of, where is Ismu Laysa? Who can tell me? Where is Ismu Laysa here? Well done. اسم ليس is مستتر هو. مصنعنا ليس بكبير. Our factory. So the ليس, اسم ليس is going to our factory. Our factory is not big. يعمل فيه 125 عاملا ومهندسان. 125 workers and 2 engineers work in it. Who can tell me what kind of word is مهندسان? We keep talking about mufrad and jama, singular and plural. But have you forgotten in Arabic there's this type as well? What is this called? So what's a singular here? Mohandesun. What's the plural? Mohandesuna. So this is neither Mohandesun nor Mohandesuna. So what is that? Look at the translation if you forgot. 2 engineers. This is dual. We know in Arabic there are 3 numbers. Numbering system, there are 3 things, 3 units. Singular, dual, and plural. So singular is 1, dual is 2, plural is more than 2. Very good, mashallah. Okay, so Zakaria is saying, الساعة الآن التاسعة إلا ربعا. The time now is 8:45. وما رجع أبوك. And your father has not returned. You see, this ma is coming. We've studied that, sister. This ma, we have studied that before, that this ma is for negation. We have studied a couple of type of ma so far. Ma is for asking the question, right? Ma is for negation. This ma is for negation. Ma raja abuka. Which ma did we study last time, sisters? Can anybody remind me? When we studied verb of wonder, fi'lu ta'ajjub, the ma which comes in the fi'l of ta'ajjub, before actually the ma ajmalahu, ma ajmala hadha al-bayta. So that ma is ma'ul wonder, ma for ta'ajjub. So, but this ma here, what we see is ma raja'a abuka. This ma is for negation. For the past tense, ma is used. Most of the time, a lot of the time, negation of the past tense is done by ma. Ma dhahaba Muhammadun. Muhammad did not go. Right? Ma raja abuka. Your father has not returned. Ma kasartu. I did not break. Ma akaltu. I did not eat. Ma sharibtu. I did not drink. So ma you use with past tense to give a meaning of negation. Wama raja abuka, and your father has not returned. So Musa is saying, لعله يرجع اليوم متأخرا. لعله يرجع اليوم متأخرا. I'm afraid he will return today late. Right? So what kind of word is لعل? We studied in our early lessons. لعل has 2 meanings: hope and afraid. For hope and being afraid. الترجي والإشفاق. الترجي والإشفاق. We've seen that in examples before, that if you are expecting something good, you really want that, you will say, I hope it will be like that. I hope this is going to happen. I hope my father is going to bring me that phone which he's promised me he will buy for me, right? And I'm afraid is used when it's something with the kiraha. You don't really want that. I'm afraid he's sick. He didn't come to the school today. I'm afraid he's sick. So you don't like that to happen. Yeah, but it may happen. So la'alla is used in both cases. Now the question is, how would you know that? You would know the meaning of la'alla by looking at the context, right? By his father coming to, to any child, their father coming late to the home is not something they like. They would love their father to be home earlier than every day, right? So him coming late is something he does not like. There's a kiraha in that. So la'alla in this sentence is used as I'm afraid, in the sense of I'm afraid. I hope it is clear, sisters. And anything comes in the class, sisters, which we say that, which we discuss that, oh, we have done before and you've forgotten, it's not a problem. We're all human beings. We keep forgetting things and we keep learning things. We keep new things and we keep forgetting old things. What's the way to deal with that? The best way is to keep revising, As I told you before, have kind of revisions. One kind of revision, which is a deeper revision, which you were revising for the last lesson, because last lesson is just fresh in your mind and you really wanted to go to your long-term memory. But if you keep doing that, the next lesson will go into your long-term memory after a few weeks. But it's not possible for you that you every day you repeat, you revise everything what you're learning from level 1. No, just browse those pages, have some portion. You know, every day I'll just start from book 1's 10 page. Every day I'll just quickly flip the page. I'll not even read it. Just look and scan. Don't stay there to read. Maybe 5 minutes. Next day, page 11 to 20. Next day, 21 to 30. Keep doing like this. Every few days you will be returning to those pages and you will be having a quick flip. 10 minutes is not a big time really. And at the end of the day, why are you learning? You're learning to learn the language of the noble Quran. Bismillah ta'ala, we all will be rewarded for that, inshallah. Amin ya Rab. So here we come to the end of the text. Today's lesson was, alhamdulillah, quite brief. So now we do the exercise. And exercise, as you know, Sheikh Abdul Rahim, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on him, he has started giving sort of comprehension questions as the first question for the tamareen, for the exercises. So this is the answer the following questions. So you have to answer these following questions and you will be able to see if you were able to understand the Arabic or not, right? Were you able to retain that information or not? I always say, okay, that's fine if you want to give answer in English, but I hope it would be a good idea that gradually you move to giving answers in Arabic instead of English. And as I told you, you can have and you should have a notebook with you. If you don't have Arabic keyboard, it takes time because you're not used to this, fine. Just write the answer in Arabic in your book and then compare the answer if the answer is correct or not when everybody gives the answer and we discuss the answer. So the first question is, لِزِيَارَةِ مَنْ ذَهَبَ زَكَرِيَّا? For whose visitation did Zakaria go? What's the answer, sisters? Zakaria went to visit Hamid, right? ذهب زكريا لزيارة حامد. Then the next question is, متى ذهب? When did he go? He went after Fajr prayer. ذهب بعد صلاة الفجر. أين يذهب حامد بعد صلاة الفجر? Where does Hamid go after the Fajr prayer? You can give two answers. You can give straight away, just say factory, al-masna, or you can give the full answer. Yeah, oh, sorry, he goes to the market. You could simply say as-suqi, just the market, or you could give a complete sentence. يذهب حامد إلى السوق. Hamid goes to the market. One question I have. I hope you know that, but if you don't know, don't worry about it. It'll come in the book, inshallah, we'll learn that. This is a verb sentence. يذهب حامد إلى السوق. Why it is a verb sentence? Because beginning with the verb. Doesn't matter if the verb which is coming in the beginning of the sentence is a past tense or a present tense. The sentence is now a verb sentence. So this is a verb. Hamid is the doer. If I have to change this sentence from verb sentence to noun sentence, is it possible without changing the meaning? Can I make some changes in this sentence and make this sentence a noun sentence instead of verb sentence? So what happens in verb sentence? Verb sentence have got two pillars, verb and the doer, as they are present here. يذهب is the verb and حامد is the doer, فاعل. مفعول به, the object of the verb, is not a compulsory thing to be there. If it is there, it's okay. If it's not there, it's okay. It doesn't affect the health of the sentence. يذهب حامد إلى السوق is a completely fine verb sentence. يذهب is the fail and Hamid is the file. Very good. If we have to make it a noun sentence, we'll bring Hamid in the beginning. So say Hamidun يذهب إلى السوق. What happened now? When Hamid came in the beginning, first word of the sentence, what kind of sentence it became? It became a noun sentence. Why? Because it is beginning with a noun, and noun, that noun is definite noun. So this is all the conditions of noun sentence are being met. Only the last condition left is that that word should be marfu, and Hamidun is marfu. So Hamidun yadhhabu ila suqi. The Arab, the grammatical analysis will be Hamid is mubtada and the khabar is yadhhabu ila suqi. The whole sentence, verb sentence, is coming and sitting in the chair of khabar. And in that sentence, we look for mubtada and khabar. I hope you knew that. And if you did not, then alhamdulillah, we have learned something new and we will do more practice in future days. So what is the fourth one? The fourth question here is, Mata yarja'u min as-suqi. So the answer is he returns at 7 o'clock and sometimes at 8 o'clock. Yarja'u fi as-sa'ati as-sabi'ati wa ahyanan fi as-sa'ati ath-thaminati wa ahyanan في الساعة الثامنة. Next is ماذا يفعل في البيت? What's the translation in English? What does he do in the house or at the home? So what does he do, sisters? Who can tell me? I'll tell you in English and see if you can translate in your own notebook. He reads newspaper and listen to the news from the radio station. Can you translate that in Arabic? How do we say he read? Qara means he read. How will we say he reads? What's the present tense of qara? Yaqra'u. And what's the newspapers in Arabic? As-suhuf. As-suhufu. But here, as-suhufu will be as-suhufu or as-suhufa. It will be as-suhufa because yaqra'u is the word. Who is the doing? He. And what is the object of doing? What is he reading? He's reading newspapers. So it will be as-suhufa. So we'll see the whole answer again. يقرأ الصحف ويسمع الأخبار من الإذاعة. He reads newspapers and listens to the news from the radio station. So look, الصحف. Why it is صحف and not صحف? Because it is coming in the place of مفعول به. It is sitting in the chair of مفعول به. The Arab is for مفعول به, which is mansub. يقرأ الصحف. If it was a book, we'll not say الكتاب. What will we say? يقرأ الكتاب. If it was a dars, usually we say a darsu. But what would we say if dars is sitting in the chair of mafulun bihi? يقرأ الدرس. He reads the lesson. Okay. The sixth one we have is متى يذهب إلى المصنع? When does he go to the factory? What's the answer, sisters? He goes to the factory at 9:30, right? يذهب في الساعة التاسعة والنصف. 9:30 or 9:30, however you would like to say, because at the end of the day, when you're translating into English, it's up to you how you translate, right? There could be more than one way of translating. How many workers work in his factory? كم عاملا يعمل في مصنعه؟ يعمل في مصنعه 125 عاملا. 125 workers work in his factory, right? How many engineers work in his factory? Sisters, I hope you can answer that because we had a discussion about this. Muhandisan, kam muhandisan ya'malu fi masna'ihi. Only two. Two engineers work in his factory. Ya'malu fihi muhandisani. Muhandisani. Very good. Okay. So this is also from the text. Sah ma yali. Correct the following. Hamid ibn Musa. Hamid. What did I say? Why did I say Hamid ibn? Can I say Hamid ibn or Hamidun ibn or Hamidun ibn? How would I say, sisters? Three choices. Hamidun ibn. Dunubun. So I joined this tanween with alif. I don't know how, but I did it. And then I read Hamidun ibn Musa. And the third way is Hamidun ibn Musa. What's the correct way? First one was correct, second was correct, the third was correct. Third was correct because you've seen after tanween, if there's hamzatul wasl, this tanween will not be pronounced as tanween, rather we will consider it as noon with the kasra. Noon with the kasr. Hamidu ibn Musa. In the Quran, you will find this so many times. So I hope you are well aware of this rule, because if you are not, then maybe you will make a mistake in your recitation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all from making mistakes in the recitation of the Quran. Ameen. So Hamid is son of Musa. Is that the correct statement, sisters? I don't think so. Hamid is father of Musa, right? He's not son of Musa. The correct one is written in English here. What's the right one? Abu Hamidun Abu Musa. Hamidun Abu Musa. يذهب حامد إلى السوق أحيانا. Hamid goes to the market sometimes. Is this correct? Does it go to sometimes or does it go always? It goes always. What's the word for always? أحيانا means sometimes. What's the word for Always, da'iman. Very good, da'iman. And third one is from the text, يذهب حامد إلى المصنع في الساعة الثامنة والنصف. Hamid goes to the factory at 8:30. Is that correct? No, he does go at 9:30. So التاسعة والنصف is the correct answer. Hamid goes to the factory after the Zohar prayer. Also, and he does go after Zohar prayer as well. Is that correct? No, Hamid does not go to the factory after Zohar prayer. We've studied this word Aidan means also. So that's why it's to be translated as also here in the translation. So does he always go to the factory after Salatul Zohar? Is this correct? يذهب أم لا يذهب? What's the correct answer? لا يذهب. لا يذهب. You see, sisters, we've seen before when they both were having discussion, said Ma Raja, he did not return. So with the fail Madi, Ma was used. But here with Yadhabu, Ma is not used, rather La Yadhabu is used. This is the correct way of using. However, you can use Ma, but then there are certain situations where you will use Ma. And likewise in Madi as well, if you want to use La, you can use it, but that's not very common. The proper usage in terms of proper, I mean, what the purpose right now is to reflect the meaning is in from English to Arabic is ma will be used for madi for the past tense and la will be used for present tense. La yadhhabu. La yadhhabu. Hamid does not go to the factory after the Zohar prayer. Yajlisu fil bayti ba'da salat al-asr. He sits in his house after the Asr prayer. Is it correct, sisters? Does he sit in his house or does he sit somewhere else? He's a hard-working man. He sits in his office after the Asr prayer. So يجلس أين؟ يجلس في مكتبه بعد صلاة العصر. He sits in his office after the Asr prayer. And then the sixth one is مصنع حامد كبير. The factory of Hamid is big. What kind of sentence is this? مصنع حامد كبير. This is a noun sentence. I say it's a noun sentence. Do you say the same? But you can also say, we just said a while ago in one sentence that, oh, noun sentence begins with the mubtada. Mubtada usually is definite and it is marfu. But here, okay, mubtada, the first word beginning is the noun. It is marfu. This is fine. But it's not definite. There's no alif lam here. So how is it coming as mubtada? But we have seen that before. If mubtada is, if the word is mudaf, if the word is the part of mudaf ilay, and the mudaf ilay is definite, then mudaf is also definite. We've studied halfway through. We've studied only this much, that if the mudaf ilay construction is there, then the mudaf will also be definite. But the correct answer is definite is of two types. We have not studied that. One definite is full definite. Like I say, masna hamidin, full definite, right? If I say kitabu hamidin, if I say kitabun is nakira, it's indefinite, right? But if I say kitabu hamidin, it is definite by place. We have learned the definite by position. As I'm telling you now, right now, masna hamidin, masna is muqtadain. It is definite. Why? Because it's a mudaf to a mudaf ilayh. But there was some information which was not given to you. There are reasons always for that. Sometimes not to overwhelm you, sometimes to keep the text, to keep the messages smaller. So the third type of definite, which is not the third type, second type of the definite or second type of word, which is between nakira and between marifa, between indefinite and between definite, is when you do takhassus am. So if I say, hear me out clearly, if I say kitabu hamidin, surely it is definite because you know Hamid, and so his book is also definite because Hamid is known, his book is known as well. But if I say kitabu talibin, if I say kitabu talibi with alif lam, once again it is fine. Book of the student. That should mean you know the student, so you also know which book we are talking about. But if I say kitabu talibin, now talib without alif lam is any student. So kitabu talibin means book of a student. Now you don't know a student, which student I'm talking about. How would you know which book I'm talking You see, sisters, this is a side information. If you got that, it's fine. If you didn't, don't worry, inshallah, they'll come in future lessons. So masna hamidin kabirun, coming back to this here, masna is mubtada and it is marfu, and it is definite. Why is it definite? Because it is a mudaf to a mudaf. So masna is mubtada wa huwa mudaf, hamidin is mudaf ilayh, and kabirun is our khabar, and this is the noun sentence. I hope everything is clear. All right. The next thing is ponder over the following examples. So we have example given here, and we have to just ponder upon that. But the good news is, sisters, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, what you're going to see, 99% of that, you already know that, because we've studied these present tense verb long time back. So there's really nothing much new coming to you. However, inshallah, this will give me an opportunity to discuss with you few things which will come inshallah in advanced lessons. But of course, in terms of the lessons, it will come in advanced lessons. But when you open the Quran, you're doing the recitation, you may come across those words, those constructions which are not here in the book. This is one of the idea that if we have discussed these things in advance before they appear in the book, then when you see in the Quran, you are somehow able to understand the meaning, or at least you're not thinking, oh, I have studied it differently. Why it is coming? Why is it like this here? Of course, it's the Quran is the final word. So have I studied wrong? Did something wrong was there? So just to understand, okay, teacher can make mistake. I'm a human being. I can always make mistake. But it is possible that that thing was not a mistake, but there was a variance of that particular concept. Maybe there was some exception of that concept. So we get opportunity, alhamdulillah, to discuss those things, because alhamdulillah, the main concept of the chapters, many of those we have already discussed that. So coming back to this here. ذهب علي إلى المدرسة أمس. Ali went to the school yesterday. Now here, the author is making a mudari. Author is making a present tense from a past tense. And he's saying, he's using the same sentence, only making one change, and that change is changing the whole tense, whole time of the action from past to present. He's making a little more than one change, but this is basically one thing I think which we should focus here. ذهب علي إلى المدرسة أمس. Ali went to the school yesterday. يذهب علي إلى المدرسة كل يوم. Ali goes to the school every day. So even if you take this amsi out from here, so yesterday will be deleted. Take كل يوم every day out. What is left is ذهب علي إلى المدرسة. What is the meaning? Ali went to the school. If I say يذهب علي إلى المدرسة, that could mean Ali goes to the school, right? Or you could say Ali is going to the school. However, we say there are certain things there, but we'll not go into that. The point is to make from past to present, only one thing needed to be changed, and that was this ya. That ya came and set with this verb. Otherwise, the sentence is same. If you look at the half sentence, ذهب علي إلى المدرسة يذهب علي إلى المدرسة, this ya has been changed. So what the author is trying to tell us here is this thing. In the mudare, one of the four letters, hamza, noon, ya, or ta, is prefixed to the verb, which we call, it is called anith. This is the name some ulama has given so that we can remember these letters easily. Anith, nita, Tani, however you want to memorize these words. So all of these three examples are just actually telling you that this adding of ya is giving you two information. One information is that this verb is no more a past tense. This verb is a present tense. And second information it is giving you is that this verb, the act doer of this verb is some masculine, and that masculine is absent. يذهب, he is going. يقرأ, he is reading. يغسل, he is washing. You see, sisters, I hope you got that. This ya in anith, in huruf al-mudari, in this example is giving you two things, is giving away two things. One, it is changing from past tense to present tense. And it is also letting you know that the doer is third person masculine. But if I take away, and this is something I can discuss with you, though it's not in the book yet, but I hope you'll understand. It is quite possible that we remove Ali, Ismail, and Ar-Rajul from here, and the sentence will remain same. If I say يذهب إلى المدرسة means he is going to the madrasa, or he will go to the madrasa. If I say يقرأ القرآن means he is reciting the Quran, or he will recite the Quran. If I say يغسل سيارته, he is washing his car, or he will wash his car. So this is the doer. Aliyun, Ismailu, Ar-Rajulu are the doer, and this doer is coming as Ismu Zahir, a parent noun. It is also possible for us to simply remove that, as we have done in the past, as we have seen in the past. We could say Dhahaba ila al-madrasati. Common sentence we have dealt was Dhahaba ila suqi, right? Dhahaba ila al-masjidi. So here Dhahaba ila al-madrasati is possible. Qara al-Qur'ana, he read the Quran, he recited the Quran. Ghasala sayyaratahu, he washed his car. You can remove these apparent doers from here if you want to. And if you don't want to, then you can carry on the way it is given here. Once again, I went into a little bit of side discussion here. What the author is trying to tell us here in this particular segment is that by just adding ya to a past tense verb, you change the verb from past tense to present tense. And it gives you the meaning that the doer is a third person masculine. I hope it is clear, sisters. I hope everybody understood that. Look, this has been moved. This is basically for, these boxes are going to tell us that this was for present tense. Now we are in present tense. But the good news is, once again, present tense you have learned so many moons back. It's nothing new for you. But for many students who goes by the curriculum of Madinah book, the way it is coming in the book, for them it is the first time introduction perhaps to Fi'l al-Mudari. But alhamdulillah, you know that full well. So we'll try to revise what we know, and we see if we can find out something new in that, which may increase our insight, Bismillah ta'ala. Al-fi'l al-mudari, present and future tense verb. So what is past tense verb? Kataba, kataba means he wrote. So fi'l madin conveys a complete action. It also refers to a perfect sense. This is like an English grammar. We are not going into terminologies for English grammar. So kataba is the past tense. This is enough for us to say. Kataba is the past tense, means he wrote. How do you change into fi'l al-mudari? Fi'l al-mudari, al-fi'l al-mudari could give you two meanings in Arabic: present and future tense verb. Now this is the new information. In the beginning, I always told you, look, like there's an English three tenses, Arabic there are three tenses. This is true. Fi'l madi, fi'l mudari, and fi'l amr. But the fact is, we have past tense in English, you have fi'l al-madi in Arabic. We have present tense in English, we have fi'l al-mudari in Arabic. We have future tense in English, we have once again fi'l al-mudari in Arabic. So this fi'l al-mudari can serve the purpose of present tense and can serve the purpose of future tense. How? We will learn that either by looking at the sentence or by adding some little thing before the word. It will make it specific to the future. We will see that. But then what is the third type of word? Because we always said there are three types of verbs in Arabic language. Can anybody answer that? I hope all of you are able to answer that. Let's see if we can get some answers. What is the third type of verb in Arabic language, sisters? One is Madi, second is Mudari, and the third is? Well done. It's Fi'l al-Amr, imperative verb. And actually, if you look honestly, that is what is the future tense. What is the classical definition of Fi'l Madi? It is something which happened before your speech. So if I say I ate, I prayed. Yeah, maybe it's Asr, Zohar time is gone and it's Asr time. So when you ask me, I said I prayed. So I'm talking to you now, but action was done before I opened my mouth to inform you. But on the other hand, if I want to say present, if I want to talk about future tense, and if I say do that, so when is the action going to happen? When you tell your child or your sibling or your student, write it, write, go, do, sit, eat, drink. When is the action going to happen? After you will finish your speech. So that is the true future tense, isn't it? I hope you got that, and I hope I didn't confuse you with this kind of example. Well, nevertheless, we'll carry on with the lesson, inshallah, here. So, al-fi'l al-mudari, present tense, is attained by prefixing one of these four letters to a past tense, as we've seen in our example a while ago from the book, and here it is as well. Kataba, you added ya, and you made it yaktubu. Yaktubu, meaning he is writing, he writes, he will write. How will you decide which meaning to take? The context will tell you which meaning to take, or the sentence will have more clarity that will tell you. So if I say yaktubu, it could mean anything. But if I want to say he's writing now, if I add yaktubul ana, you know the word al ana, we've studied long time before and many, many times. Al ana means right now. So yaktabul ana, he's writing right now. So khalas, you got the meaning, it's happening in present tense, right? For future tense, there's something called huruful istiqbal, seen or sofa. Right? In the Quran, you will see seen and sofa so many times. So when seen and sofa are coming, then you will give the meaning of future tense. Sayaktubu, he will write. Sawfa yaktubu, he will write. What's the difference between seen and sofa? We'll see that when it will come in the book, inshallah. But right now, it's not the time for seen and sofa. Right now, we're just looking about the typical mudare. We will bring any of the word from these anith and attach it with the verb to change the verb from madi to mudare. So if you look at these ones, this example, once again, you've seen this image before, but today it is like how will you say, today is the time for this image to be displayed. Look at these past tense. What I'm trying to tell you is this, I'll explain you inshallah. Qatala, jalasa, dhahaba, shariba, kathura. If you carefully look at this fi'l al-mudari, sister, this is not technical what I'm going to speak. Don't think, oh, why I need to learn Arabic language, why I need to learn these things, for example, because all of this what we are learning now is somewhat part of surf, morphology. What morphology is what? Surf. You keep receiving your assignments, reading and writing, and there are sometimes some PDFs and some images which are actually showing the function of surf. One may say, why do I need to learn surf? I don't need to learn surf. I'm here to learn nahwa, which is Arabic grammar, which is syntax. But the thing is, nahwa and surf goes hand in hand. But at the end, we are not here. Let me say it in this way. We are not here to become grammarians. We are not really here to become grammarians. We don't want to become Sibawayh, and we don't want to become Farah, and we don't want to become ulama of the grammar. Fair enough. But we do want to understand the Quran and Sunnah, isn't it? So when you study surf, when you studied morphology, you understand what kind of changes has occurred and how the shape of the verb has been changed. Why in one of your recent PDFs, you got one PDF, and also you know that Arabic words ism and fail. Let's talk about the verb. We're talking the verb here. Now we are in the verb. Before that, we always used to speak about the nouns. Verbs consist of how many letters? Who can tell me? Verbs can consist of how many letters? I think level 3 first lesson, you had some information about that. Level 4 first lesson, you had some information about that. And in between as well, many times. Very good. 3 letters or 4 letters. Thulathi or ruba'i, right? Either the verb will have 3 root letters, 3 original letters, or 4 letters. Let's look at the screen right now. This is a verb, ra'a, meaning to see. Ra'a, he saw. Yara, he is seeing. Right? What is this? Ra has got 3 letters. It's a verb, right? It proves verb. Yara, again 3 letters, proves verb. Re, what is this? When you see this word re anywhere written in any book, are you going to believe it's a verb? But it's a verb. What kind of verb is it? It's a command. Re means look. Unzur. Re means look. We see in Surah Al-Ikhlas, we recite in Surah Al-Ikhlas, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد. We just said verbs are 3 letters, they're not less than 3 letters. And when you look at the qul, if you don't have this information, and you look at the qul, you will not think qul is a word, but qul is a word. What's the meaning of qul? Say. It's a command, right? Qul, which verb it is coming from? Qala yaqulu. Qala means he said. Yaqulu means he's saying, or he will say. And qul means it's a command, say. So now if you do not know the sarf, you do not know what we are going to see now, then you will never be able to understand the word. You will look at qul and you will say, you know what, I don't know what kind of word it is. Is it a particle? But that's not a particle, that's a word. Because if you think it's a particle, then you will look for maybe something else. Maybe you look, if you think it's harf jar, then you look for ism majrur, but you see after qul is huwa is coming. Is qul for tawqeed, like inna? Where is this point? You will just get confused. But if you know qul is an imperative verb, then you will understand that this is the verb sentence, and then we look from that angle, right? Hence, you need to know what I'm going to, inshallah, discuss. Now look at this. Qatala, jalasa, dhahaba, shariba, kathura. These are all past tense verb. I know we are coming towards the end of the class. As soon as I approach 1 hour, I start getting messages from students that, oh, class is coming to an end. I think I bore you guys big time. I'm sorry about that. But, you know, we are here to learn. And learning can have sometimes a little bit deeper things to see. And sometimes I know all of us try to, you know, opt for things which are easier. But you see, we're trying to understand the Quran, sister. So we have to work a little bit hard, isn't it? We have to work a little bit hard. So if you look at these are all past tense verbs, you can see the transition. But I want you to focus on these words in itself. Look at the first letter of all of these. It has got a fatha. You know the wazn, right? You remember the scale, fa'ala, root words. Fa kalima, ain kalima, lam kalima. So we know qaf is a fa kalima, ta is a ain kalima, this lam is a lam kalima. Let's pick this one. Jim is the fa kalima. Lam is the ain kalima, and sin is the lam kalima. I'll do one more inshallah here. Dhahaba, dhal is the fa kalima, ha is the ain kalima, and ba is the lam kalima. Now, if you look at these past tense verbs, you will realize that fa kalima has got a fatha. Fa kalima has got a fatha. All of that is fatha. This also brings one more thing. You remember, I keep telling you, knowing the terminology will help you understand things quicker. And we've given so many times different examples. For example, one example we've been given, you came one day home late from the work. Your child asked you, why were you late? You actually met your friend Fatima, who's a doctor, after a very long time, and you were discussing things with her and how is she and chit-chatting, and then you got 15-20 minutes late. Now you tell your child, oh, I met my friend Dr. Fatima. He said, Dr. Fatima, what is doctor, ma? What you gonna say? Look, I have alarm for all the classes that the time is coming to an end. I know it's just, we'll try to end as soon as possible, inshallah, sisters, don't worry about it. Now, each class I try to have alarm with me and it goes off. And I let everybody hear that so people know that I am concerned about the time, and I really appreciate that it's 1 hour, it should end. I'll try to finish it very quickly, inshallah. So what will you tell her? You will have, if she will say, what is doctor? You will have to explain a lot of things to her. Doctor does this, doctor does that. This is what they wear. This is how they look like. But if your child, and if you have explained once how the doctor is, next time you tell another person, oh, you know, we have new neighbors moved and Auntie Laila is a doctor. He's not going to ask what is doctor because he's already aware of that. So now if we know, because fa kalima is the first letter of the word, if I just tell you, fa kalima of fi'l madi is always maftuh. So now you always know, every time you will hear or read this, that I'm referring to this first letter of the word. So coming back to quickly, this what I'm saying, and then we'll end the class inshallah soon, is that fa kalima of past tense is always always maftu. The lam kalima of the past tense will always be maftu, right? Always be like that. The only change will happen in the ain kalima. If you see qatala ta, which is the ain kalima, has got a fatha. Lam has got a fatha, which is ain kalima. Ha has got a fatha, which is ain kalima. But shariba, ra is the ain kalima, but it has got a kasra. It doesn't have a fatha. If you look at the kathura, this past tense verb, fa kalima has got a fatha, as we've seen. Lam kalima has got a fatha, as we've seen. But tha kalima here now has got a dhamma. So what we know is that in past tense verb, ain kalima can have all three vowel signs, can have a fatha, can have a kasra, can have a dhamma. When you move towards fi'lul mudari, you will notice, I'm talking about only these ones. There is some variance in some other mudari. We're not talking about that. That we'll do inshallah in future. If you look at this huruful mudari, which are coming attached to the verb to change the verb from past to present, they are always maftu. Ya has got fatha. All of these yas has got a fatha. But the qaf of the fil madi, which used to have a fatha, qaf, jim, zal, sheen, kaf, all fatha. Look at fil mudari, they all have sukun. Qaf with the sukun, jim with the sukun, zal with the sukun, sheen with the sukun, kaf with the sukun. It is always going to be like that. And the last one will always have a dhamma. Once again, when I say always, I'm talking about this slide. I'm not talking about something else. So please don't fire up your questions that, oh, what about this and that? We'll discuss that when that will come. But however, if you look at this ta here, ta has got a dhamma, lam has got a dhamma, ha has got a fatha, sheen has got a fatha, sa has got a dhamma. So what we see here is that ain kalima in the madi keeps changing. And here we see this ain kalima, which was changing in the madi, can also change in Failul Mudari. I know this is a little bit difficult to understand here, but now we will understand what we are going to see now. Okay, we'll quickly see and we will close the class, inshallah. So Kataba was our Failul Madi. What did we do? It is exactly what I told you before. Now we are looking at it in a graphical manner. Ya, which is Harful Mudari, has got a fatha. Kaf, earlier this number one kaf had a fatha, now it is sukun. Ta was with the fatha, it changed into dhamma. Ba had a fatha, it changed into dhamma. So if you look at the last letter of Fi'lul Mudari, they all are ending with the dhamma. If you look at the last letter of the Fi'lul Mudari, they are all ending with the fatha. If you look at the first letter of the Fi'lul Mudari, it's all with the fatha. If you look at the second letter of the mudari, it all has got a sukun. The only thing changing is the ain kalima in this madi, and this ain kalima which is coming to your fi'l mudari, it is changing over there as well. Now, what is happening is when you can have ain kalima in your fi'l madi can be written in three different ways. Let's look at this one here. Look at the last three. Dhahaba, Dhal is fa kalima, ha is ain kalima, ba is lam kalima. Here, ha, which is ain kalima, has got a fatha. In the verb shariba, ain kalima has got a kasra. In the verb kathura, ain kalima has got a dhamma. If you look at the corresponding fi'l mudare, you will see that the ha, which had a fatha in the madi, has got a fatha in the mudare. Easy thing. If you look at the shariba, ra had a kasra in the madi, but in the mudari it's a fatha. So this is changed. Tha in kathura had dhamma on tha in the madi, but in mudari it is dhamma. So it's easy. So what I'm saying is, I know it's a little bit tricky thing to get, but the beautiful thing is, and I'll say it's beautiful because there's no formula for there's no way you can pick a verb and say which group it belongs to. Let me just move a little bit forward and we will be able to understand a little bit more, inshallah. Here, look at it once again what we said. Kataba, right? Kataba is Madi. And we have this ta, which has got a fatha in the Madi. Now it has Dhamma in Mudari. Jalasa, Lam had a fatha in Madi. Jalasa means he sent, but when we say Mudari, we say Yajilisu. So Lam has got a kasra. Dhahaba, which has got a fatha on the ha, he went. Ha was the ain kalima, and in mudari as well, it retains it fatha. So there's habu, he goes. Sami'a, was the Madi. Mim had a kasra, but when the Mudari was made, it became Fatha. Yasma'u. Basically, this is called Bab, Abwab. Bab means chapters. These are 6 different variations. 3 type of Madi can have 3 type of Failul Mudari, 3 different vowel signs. And then in the next chapter, it's possible that the 2 type of Madi will have 2 type of Mudari, and the third one will only have 1 variance in Madi and Mudari. This concept is going to take some time. It will just require you to work a little, and inshallah you'll understand that. In the dictionaries, when you will open dictionary, you will find in many dictionaries it is written like this: A and U, A and A and I and A. This is important. I'll explain that to you and then end the class, inshallah. Another thing is, at this stage, we're only going to study 4 variations. We're not going to study 6 variations. So what is the meaning of A-U if you see in the dictionary? It means that Ain Kalima was A, Ka, Ta, but it became Tu. So A represents Fatha, U presents Dhamma. So every time you see A and U, for example, you look into the dictionary Dakhala, and Dakhala has A and U. What does it mean? It tells you Dakhala, when the Kha will go into the present tense, it will have a Dhamma. Look here, the proof. Yadukhulu. You see Kharaja, if you look in the dictionary, it will tell you A and U. So you know Kharaja, Ra, which is an Ain Kalima, has got a Fatha. When it will become Mudare, the Ra Kalima will get a Dhamma because it says U here. So Yakh, Ruju, all the examples are here. You can read it in your own time. I don't want to take time because we're already late to just keep repeating the things, which you can do it in your own time. We'll look another example and then inshallah. Jalasa, Lam has got a Fatha. But Mudare is represented in the dictionary by E. What do you know by E? Means this Lam will get a kasra. Jalasa yajlisu. Ghasala is in the chapter of or in the category of A and I. You can say these are this Bab, you can say name of categories if you like to say. Is the category AI. What is AI? Not artificial intelligence we're talking about. AI, Seen has got a Fatha, Ain Kalima has got a Fatha. Ghasala, but Seen Kalima, Seen, which is an Ain Kalima the Seen in the Fail al-Mudari will have a Kasra. Yaghsilu. Raja'a. Okay, if I ask you Raja belongs to which Bab, which category, you can say Raja belongs to AI. When you say AI, then I should be able to understand that AI means in the Madi, in the present tense, the Jim, which is an Ain Kalima, because remember, Ra and Ain, which is Fa and Lam Kalima, they don't never change in Madi. You don't have to think about that. The only thing that changes is Ain Kalima. It's easy, isn't it? You only have to keep an eye on Ain Kalima. So you know when I say AI means A, which is A Fatha on the Jim Kalima will become Kasara. So look, Raja'a Yarji'u. If I say AA category, it means Ain Kalima will stay same. Dhahaba in the Mudari will be Yadhabu. Raka'a, he bowed. Yarka'u, he bows. Rafa'a, he raised. Yarfa'u, he raises. So Fa in both situations, Fa means Ain Kalima here. In both situations it's Fatha because it's AA category. If I say IA category, what is going to happen? It means that the Ain Kalima of Madi had a Kasra, E sound, Sami'a. It will become, when we will go to Mudari, it will become A sound. So Sami'a will become Yasma'u. Fahima will become Yafhamu. La'iba means he played, will become Yal'abu. So Ain had a Kasra, Ain is an Ain Kalima. When it goes to the Mudari, this Ain will become Fatha. Why? Because this is an IA group. Last example, Hafiza. If I say, sisters, Hafiza is IA category. Hafiza is IA category. What do you think? What is going to be in Mudari? What will be the haraka on Ain Kalima? What is the Ain Kalima in Hafiza? Fa is the Ain Kalima. So what is going to be the haraka? Is going to be Fatha because it is IA category, ER category. Now, sometimes it's difficult to remember AU, AI, AA, IA. So what to do? Ulama, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on them, have devised the way for that. They have devised the names of these abwabs. What do? They have devised the names of these abwabs, yani these chapters, they've given the names. So if you remember the names, it will become very easy for you. Let me see. Okay. Here are the names. These names actually reflect, look, here are the names, sorry. Bab, Nasara, Daraba, Fataha, Samia. So if you remember just Bab, Nasara, anything coming on the pattern of Nasara, where Noon, Sad, and Ra is coming, it will be Yansuru. Yansuru. Daraba will be Yadribu. Dhahaba, if I say Fataha, you should know I'm talking about Dhahaba, Yadhabu combination. Let me just rephrase once again. If you memorize these 4 babs, it's going to take time. And more than memorization, it's a practice which will inshallah help you, bismillah ta'ala. So just practice and you will become strong. So if I have to, once again, this is a term. If you don't know these terms, I have to say, oh, Ain Kalima was the Fatha, now Ain Kalima has got a Kasra. I have to keep saying that all the times, and you will not 100% be sure what I'm saying. But if you just somehow uh, understand that and remember that when we say Nasara, we are talking about Nasara. If I say Bab Nasara, you know I'm talking about Bab AU. What's the meaning of AU? Means the Fatha will be changed into Dhamma. If I say this word belongs to the Bab Daraba, to the category Daraba, you should know that this Daraba category means it's an AI category. What is an AI category? AI category is that the Fatha will change into Kasra. If I say Dhahaba Yadhabu or Raka Yarkau or Rafa Yarfu, sister, this belongs to Bab Fatah or category Fatah. You know this is the category AA. And what is the AA? Means there is no change. You will have Ain Kalima and the Ain Kalima of the Madi and the same letter of Mudare will be the same haraka, no change. If I tell you, sister, Laiba belongs to the Bab Samia or the category Samia. So you will know that this category I'm talking about is IA category. And IA category means that the meme of the Samia, which has got a kasra in the Madi, will have a fatha in the Mudari. I know it's a little bit difficult to get the concept in one go, and this is one of the reasons that even though we have discussed that long time before on Telegram, but I didn't go into detail because this all requires, graphical presentation in front of you. But not to worry. Inshallah, next lesson we will repeat from here, and we'll quickly go through that again. We'll not spend this much time, but I hope in the meantime you will work hard and you will try to understand these, and these will be coming right, left, center now as a practice, so that you can actually get strong in that. Remember the days, sisters, when we were struggling with mudaf, and when we were struggling with marfu and mansoob and majur, it was all difficult, isn't it? It was all daunting. But what is now? Is there any difficulty? No, it's very easy. Inshallah, this will also become very, very easy. But the brilliant thing is, when you will learn this, your understanding of the Quran and Sunnah will multiply many folds overnight. You will see the verbs in the Quran and you'll be able to understand actually that these are the verbs and this is what it means and why this haraka is coming and that haraka is not coming. Couple of things are here. You will get it in your lesson notes, in your resource pack. What I told you verbally, you will see that Nasara, Yansuru, it was a fatha, it became Dhamma. It was a fatha, it became Kasra. It was a fatha, it remains with the fatha, so it became Fathatan. Please, sisters, do study that. These notes are repeated here, so that if you don't understand one slide, inshallah, you will understand in the second. If you don't understand second, you understand the third one. Look here, those English way of giving as well. A-U, A-I, A-A-U-U, I-A-I-I, but these are 6 here. Actually, in grammar, there are 6 abwab, right? 6 chapters, 6 categories. But this book, at the moment, we're only discussing the 4. So just pay attention to these 4. Try to practice these 4. And inshallah, things will become very, very easy. There are sisters who work very hard in the group. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from them and make it the source of good for them in dunya and akhirah. I hope that they will undertake this and they will put some practice exercises and the people will be able to take it. Inshallah, I'll also try to answer if there are any questions. So sisters, if we are done, then I think we should end the class. We're already late despite my efforts. I'm so sorry about that, but I hope you understand that all of these things are very important for us to understand. And if you understand these things from the beginning, like we understood, we already knew about Mudare and everything. So we are able to focus on that, this particular part of these categories of the book. Imagine if this was the first time you were coming across the present tense in Arabic, then how many things you had to understand? You would understand harful mudare, what is happening, and then you move to this, so you would have find a lot of things in one chapter packed. But now I hope you find less pressure on you, and I hope, inshallah, things will become very easy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us. Ameen ya Rab. Inshallah, we'll end the class. Jazakumullah khair for attending. See you next time. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.